What is good, YouTube? My name is Velikan. In this video we are taking a look at the tier 2 relics for Leagues 5. So for our tier 2 relics we have Friendly Forager, we have Cutting Corners or Corner Cutter, and we have Dodgy Deals. So starting with Friendly Forager, upon choosing this relic you'll receive the Forager's Pouch. Whenever this pouch is in your inventory or when equipped, you have a chance to find random grimy herbs when doing woodcutting, fishing, mining, and hunting. The herbs that you can find are limited to herbs that you can clean up to your herblore level plus 25. Then the Forager's Pouch will only find herbs it has room to store, but it will always attempt to give you a herb that you can receive. Okay. Works just like a herb sack, shares an inventory with it. I'm not sure what the implications are of this, to be honest. And then the following benefits to herblore when crafting potions. That is something. Secondary ingredients have a 90% chance not to be consumed. This stacks additively with other sources. That is interesting. The 90% is insane, by the way. Created potions contain 4 doses instead of 3. Okay. So Forager's Pouch gives you a random herb whenever you gather resources. Herbs are always received when gathering on a 90 cooldown. So that's every 5.4 seconds. This basically means that we will be getting an abundance of herbs if we pick Forager's Pouch. That is insane. You can also force certain herbs by keeping the pouch filled with other herbs. So let's say you're looking for ranars for prayer potions. You can just keep the pouch filled, empty all the ranars, and you'll be able to force ranars that way, it looks like. So that is incredibly strong. Because Forager's Pouch saves 90% of your secondaries, it single-handedly solves herblore. So Forager's Pouch, in my opinion, one of the best relics of this tier. Unfortunately, the other relics are really good too, so that's going to be a tough order, a tough decision to make. Why am I saying that Forager's Pouch is so good? Because herblore is arguably the worst skill for an Iron Man. A little less so if you pick Overgrown or if you have an area like Farlamore because of the minigame. But Forager's Pouch, basically solving herblore, herblore being the worst skill for an Iron Man. 1 + 1 is 2, basically. It is really good. Then Corner Cutter. You will receive the Sage's Greaves while equipped. The Greaves will grant you experience, agility experience that is, based on your agility level while you run. This allows for 0 tick agility experience, 0 time, sorry. Very good. Completing an agility course grants 2 completion count and 25% bonus experience. That is kind of whatever, I think. Marks of Grace will also spawn with 10,000 coins. That is kind of whatever too, I would say. Double quantity of pyramid tops, hallowed marks, and Brimhaven vouchers, and crystal shards from agility. Kind of good, I think. So Sage's Greaves, what are we looking at? We are looking at passive 50 mil agility. So that's 0 time. That is extremely good. It comes with a 100% chance to pass agility checks as per the OSRS League's Discord FAQ. That is nice to have. More money out of rooftops, which I think is kind of useless. I know that Marks of Grace spawn like every 2 laps. Getting 10k every 2 laps is kind of whatever. I don't think you'll be doing many rooftops anyways because you'll be receiving 50 mil passive experience. So you're only really doing rooftops for tasks. So probably going to be a Draenor task to run it like 10 times. Then there's going to be a Varrock rooftops task to run it like 30 times, and that's about it. So I'm not really liking the money drop with Marks of Grace drops. It's kind of whatever. Then pyramid tops might be a little useful. You have to go desert, of course. Normally, you don't fail the pyramid at 70 agility, but keep in mind that the Sage's Greaves are a tier 2 relic. So you should be able to get a decent amount of starter cash if you are in the desert and you pick Sage's Greaves. So that might be kind of interesting. You also get faster hallowed marks, Marks of Grace, and Brimhaven vouchers. Brimhaven vouchers are only for buying items, so you cannot get a bunch of experience that way. Either way, these vouchers and marks and whatever, they may help some tasks, but I doubt it will be very many tasks. So if you go, let's say, Mauritania, there's probably going to be some tasks tied to Hallowed Sepulchre. I know there's one for speedrunning, but that's obviously beside the point. There might be some tasks in Sepulchre regarding hallowed marks, and you might get these a little bit more faster. So I'm not really sure how to gauge this. I don't think it will be many tasks. I don't think it will be many points. So it's not that interesting, I would say. However, Sage's Greaves might be the play for 50 million agility experience, as it's hardest to get in terms of time saved. There is a little bit of a caveat here because Dodgy Deals has implications on agility as well. Anyway, if you are considering Sage's Greaves, you should look for solves in other skills before considering Sage's Greaves. So that's basically how I view Sage's Greaves. But there's this thing, and it's called Dodgy Deals. You gain the following benefits to thieving. Pickpocketing an NPC will also pickpocket all NPCs of a similar type in an 11 by 11 square, granting extra loot for each NPC pickpocketed. 100% success rate in all thieving checks, which is bonkers. Automatically re-pickpocket an NPC or stall, that is kind of whatever, in my opinion. Items obtained from pickpocketing are noted, that is nice. Maximum coin pouch count increased by 3x. Let's talk about that in a second. And stalls do not deplete when you steal from them, and this is a funny one because other people that do not take Dodgy Deals can absolutely grief your stalls. If anything, that's a reason not to take Dodgy Deals, because there you can grief others. Anyway, AoE pickpockets is probably absurd in certain areas. So, despite the 3x coin pouches, a good AoE spot will not be AFK. And I don't think there is any reason to look for an area that does not have the AoE mechanic attached to it. So let's say you're looking to pickpocket Vires, looking for that lone Vire so you can be AFK longer is kind of a weird play. Maybe if you're looking to zero time before you go to bed or something like that. But I basically what I'm saying is just use the AoE and it won't be AFK, and that's what Dodgy Deals is going to be, right? 100% success rate really buffs certain mobs, specifically elves and Vires, so this is such a big deal. If you go to Ranwin or if you go Mauritania, Dodgy Deals is insane. Automatic re-pickpocketing and auto-thieving of stalls is kind of nice, it's kind of whatever, I don't know, it's okay. My point of view is just spam click, and it works the exact same way, you just have to click more. So, that's just how it is. Don't really value that too highly. Then stalls can be griefed by people that do not pick Dodgy Deals. If they steal from the stall gets depleted and the Dodgy Dealers would have to wait too. They will definitely be griefed the first few days, absolutely. Especially in common areas. So if you're looking to Dodgy Deal the Varrock T-stall or something like that, not going to happen because it's a task. Or at least was in Leagues 4. Then gem stalls, in particular, might be nice for crafting too. Getting your hands on uncut gems or even cut gems would be extremely nice. So that might be very cool with Dodgy Deals. Then if you go to Ranwin, you have your crystals that you can pickpocket from the elves. That should be really good smithing experience and crafting experience. So I'm thinking Dodgy Deals to Ranwin also solves smithing and crafting. If you go tier 1 power miner, and you go to Ranwin, and I'm saying this because Ranwin is a very popular area this time around, probably because it's best in slot for most builds. Power Miner might be less interesting, right? Then, of course, I mentioned Sage's Greaves perhaps being a good starting cash. Dodgy Deals is definitely decent starting cash. So Dodgy Deals, all in all, is very great. And then there's the kicker. Dodgy Deals works on underwater thieving chests, as per the OSRS Leagues Discord FAQ. Some guy was trying to figure out if it works. He comes at 2.2 million agility experience per hour without flippers and 5 to 6 million experience per hour with flippers. If you don't know, the underwater thieving is in Fossil Island. You have to go to some sort of chest. It's kind of annoying to get there. Once you get there, you can thieve from the chest. You get unidentified fossils, some numulite, some pearls, and then glistening tears. And the glistening tears give you can hand them in, they can give you agility experience, right? Apparently, Dodgy Deals works on those chests, and it's starting to look like it's absolutely buffing the shit out of glistening teardrops. So that if that's the case, and if this isn't patched, then Dodgy Deals will actually be extremely good for agility as well. And in my opinion, because I'm pretty sure Fossil Island is included within Misselin, there is no real reason to to pick Sage's Greaves if that's the case. So yeah, Dodgy Deals being good for agility, perhaps, might be the play. Conclusion. Generally, I think Herblore and Potions are more of a problem than Thieving and Agility are. Friendly Forager is arguably a must if you have no herb patches in your area. Specifically, the Desert, Wilderness, and Turanwin have 0 herb patches, so if you go these 3 areas exclusively, which you're probably not going to, but if you do, you have 0 herb patches. If you're looking to get your hands on potions and want to train your Herblore, you might, or you should at least, consider Friendly Forager. If you go Mauritania or Turanwin, however, Thieving becomes much more interesting. Dodgy Deals may also help crafting and smithing, but it will or may tremendously help agility. So I'm not really sure if this entire underwater thieving thing is going to, be the case in the main game, or well, not the main game, in leagues, I mean, when it releases, but it may tremendously help agility. So that's really good. Sage's Greaves still might be an interesting pick if you have Herblore and Thieving solved. So there are some areas, of course, that might buff your Herblore. There are some areas, of course, that might buff your Thieving. If you are inside of these areas, you might consider Sage's Greaves. So perhaps through picking Overgrown plus Dodgy Deals, it says Overgrown plus Thieving, but I meant Dodgy Deals, you might have a multitude, or if you have a multitude of patches, you have an abundance of seeds, in which case Overgrown gets much stronger. So that might be interesting to you. Then if you are in Zaya, you have the Farming Guild, which indirectly helps Herblore. And then you also have Thieving through stealing artifacts, I think it's called, in Piscarilius. In Varlamore, you have the Herblore minigame, which will definitely help a Herblore. And in the Desert, you have Pyramid Plunder, which will help Thieving. So if you have any combination of these areas, you might have Herblore and or Thieving solved, in which case Sage's Greaves may become more interesting to you. With the introduction of Reloaded, you might both get Dodgy Deals and Forager's Pouch, which might be the play for me personally. Also with Reloaded, Sage's Greaves might become more interesting as you do not need 2 skills solved in order to pick it. So let's say you are in the desert. You have your Thieving fixed. And what you might be doing is, okay, you're going to get Friendly Forager reloaded into Sage's Greaves. Now you have your Thieving through Pyramid Plunder. You have your Sage's Greaves doing agility for you. And you have Friendly Forager fixing your Herblore, and you're done, right? So that might be a play. I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing to use your Reloaded pick on, but it's an option that you definitely should consider. So this is a tough tier. This is an absolutely tough tier. Dodgy Deals looks insane. Friendly Forager looks insane. I think there is some hidden value in Sage's Greaves, especially if you have your other 2 skills fixed. So this is a tough tier. Jagex did a really good job on balancing this to the point it becomes frustrating to decide. I know a lot of people are not happy with the fact that Trickster is gone. So yeah, this is something. I wish all of you that are watching, first of all, I want to thank you. And secondly, I want to wish you best of luck picking something. And I hope you don't get any buyer's remorse. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.